Let's go straight to the Shadow Chancellor, John McDonnell, who's in our Westminster studio for us this morning. Very good morning to you. Thank you for your time this morning. Could you just give us your overview of what you've seen as the results have come in so far?
Well, a bit what you've reflected there, which is mixed results in terms of Labour. Some of the areas where people expect us to be wiped out, South Wales in particular, we've done extremely well, holding on to Newport, Cardiff, you've just heard, Swansea, we actually gained seats. In North Wales as well, we've done very, very well. And that West of England result, we came within 5,000 votes in a mayoral contest. No one gave us any hope whatsoever. And if you look at the first ballots in the Bristol parliamentary constituencies that were cast, Labour was ahead. So it's mixed results. I'm disappointed we've lost seats because our candidates and our councillors have worked so hard. But I think it's interesting to see what's happened. You know, the wipeout of UKIP and the Lib Dem surge just hasn't appeared as they predicted. So, yeah, it's been a tough night, but it's mixed results and it's all to play for in terms of the general election.
Well, John McDonnell, if I understand, in terms of the general election campaign, and these things are getting confused, one of the Labour's messages with Jeremy Corbyn at the helm is that what really counts is what happens at grassroots level. Forget about, comparing him with Theresa May. What matters is what happens on the streets, door to door. The trouble with these local elections for you is what they're indicating is that the very thing that you hold dearest, that the Labour Party thinks is their strong point, simply isn't working.
Well, all those caveats need to be taken into account about the difference between local and national elections. But if you look at where we've really campaigned hard, in terms of Wales in particular, Jeremy Corbyn was down in Cardiff. There's been a lot of work on the ground with our membership out there knocking on doors. And we've defied all the predictions on the losses. And where we've lost in South Wales, what's interesting, it hasn't been to the Tories, actually, in terms of what's happened in Merthyr Tydfil and Blaenau Gwent, is that they've returned to independence that they were before 2012. So I think it's very difficult to extrapolate from local government results anyway. But what we're finding is all these doom and gloom predictions that were thrown at us because the national opinion polls haven't been translated. We're only midpoint in these results anyway. Let's see what happens in the Northwest, because remember, Theresa May targeted the Northwest in particular. So let's see what happens in Manchester and Liverpool, and that'll give us a better flavour of the reaction of people on the ground.
Well, you're being very pragmatic, and we understand why, and there are lots of warnings around not reading too much into these early stages. But the truth is that with a general election just, 5 weeks away now, for a party that wants to rule, for a party that wants to come back from such a lowly position, which I think even you accept there is a lot of ground to catch up, this just isn't it. The indicators you would be looking for would be something that is really changing, like a mood change, and that's not there.
Well, I think there is, you see, because what's interesting is as this general election campaign has moved on, and the broadcast media in particular have to give us balanced coverage between the political parties, we're now able to advocate our policies in a way we've never really been given a fair crack of the whip in the past, in the last couple of years. And we're finding those policies are extremely popular. We're leading in the opinion polls on every policy that we advocate. Then when it comes to Jeremy Corbyn himself, the image that the media have built up over the last couple of years, the press media in particular, that's being shattered by basically the way in which we're campaigning, which is open, Jeremy touring all around the country, all our meetings open to the general public, rather than this robotic closed campaign that the Prime Minister and the Conservatives are waging. I think we can turn the tide. And of course, yes, we know it's going to be tough, but we'll publish our manifesto on the basis of the policies, and I think also on the basis of the real appraisal of Jeremy Corbyn. When people see him, I think we'll be able to win. Now, one of the key factors in that, I think, are the broadcast media. So that's why we keep saying we need that televised debate between Theresa May and Jeremy Corbyn, so people can judge the policies but also judge the character of the individuals. And I'm trying to say, look to the Prime Minister, don't run scared on this. Actually have that debate, because that's what people want in a democratic society.
I mean, something here doesn't add up. I mean, a moment ago you're telling me that, on the doorstep people are liking your policies, but you've lost 119 seats.
Well, it's a fallback from quite a high that we had previously. it isn't a reflection of what's happening in the opinion polls nationally either. Where people were predicting a wipeout because of those opinion polls, actually we're holding on, and we're holding quite well in certain areas. And in some areas, like that West of England result, better than anyone thought possible. I'm not underestimating how tough it is. They were mixed results last night. UKIP wiped out, and a lot of their votes went to the Tories. The Lib Dem surge didn't take votes off the Tories in the same way, and they certainly didn't take votes off us. So I'm not underestimating how tough it is. All I'm saying is I think we've got time to turn this around. And those mixed results last night, I think, can be turned into positive results at a general election, because our policy has been popular, and we're now getting the balanced broadcast coverage that we've wanted for so long.
John McDonnell, thank you very much for your time this morning. John McDonnell, Shadow Chancellor, speaking to us from Westminster.